G'day everyone, Sunday. It's been a week and I'm right on the cusp of 4 kilos, or pretty much spot on 9 pounds I've lost, so that's all going good and it's going easy peasy. Did an 18.5-hour fast last night and yeah, feeling good, so back into it. What I've got here is a couple of new things. I've got 2 new machetes to show you. I got 2 Opinel knives, basically the same knife, but one just came with the sheath package and the other one was just on its own. I also have my old cold steel Katana Machete. I had it for a little while, didn't think too much of it, thought it was impractical. Sold it to my mate when he first got into blades, and he was buying a whole heap of China junk, so I don't know whether I gave him a package deal or whatever, but I said stop buying China eBay shit. I think I gave him the cold steel GI Tanto, the cold steel Bushman, and the Katana Machete. So I think that's what I gave him straight up. Anyway, after watching a couple of these all the sword guys, again, can't remember names. Yeah, this weekend I've just been watching you know, sword stuff. I really wanted to get into the sword and bigger blade stuff, so and my mate, he's kind of going through a machete phase at the moment, so I thought, stuff it, I'll revisit that area again. And so I got myself two of these. These are those made in Brazil, Tramontina. I believe it's like the Latin, classic Latin sort of machete sort of shape. And I've heard lots of people talking up these things. So this one's a 12-inch, this is a 16. They also had a 10-inch, and then they had some whopping big ones about 1 kilometre long. Way too heavy, sort of too impractical for what I want to do. Maybe it might be good for slashing bottles and shit in the backyard here, but not really what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, but I've definitely heard a lot of good things about these. So my mate's got that one there. I thought the 10-inch is fairly impractical, really. I've got knives that sort of cover what a 10-inch can do. This one, yeah, I got knives that are this size and can do everything that this can do and more. The thing is, this is lighter, and if I'm just cutting grass and things like that, and small little things, this will do the job just fine. So I just wanted to, you know, this was $20. These were both $20, $19.90 or something like that. Now, if you're in Brisbane, where I am, I went to a camping shop called Down Under Camping. They're about the cheapest that you can get this brand of machete. I had a good chat to old mate yesterday. I didn't tell him that I do reviews, but I also mentioned about the Smith's Pack Pal little cheese grater tinder maker. So he sells other Smith stuff. He didn't know about the tinder maker, so I had a good chat with him. We jumped on his computer and I showed him some YouTube clips on it, and he was amazed, and he said that he's going to look into getting some on his next order, so he wrote it down in his order book and everything. So if you're in Brizzy, especially if you're on the south side, Moss Street, Down Under Camping, looks like they're going to start having those things in stock. And they have, if you're after a machete, they have this brand of machete as cheap as you can find anywhere. And if you're local, you can drive down there and pick it up. So you're saying that saving that extra $10-12 on shipping too, and you might not get stuffed around like I've been stuffed around with the postage. So yeah, I went and borrowed, searched around, got some more bottles. Went and hit up a neighbour for some bottles. I only got one 2 litre milk bottle of them. So I intend on doing a little bit of chopping with this. May do a chop or two with the Katana Machete, and also maybe one more chop with the hunting sword. I'm really starting to love the hunting sword and the swordy big bladey thing. So yeah, that's what I'm only going to use the factory edges on these just so we can see how they come, and you know, I'm probably going to do all the same little modifications to these as I did to my other cold steel cookery machete. I'll have a little bit closer look at these in a sec, or actually right now. So this comes with a Scandi sort of grind on it, a low Scandi. Yeah, it's a Scandi grind. It's not the cleanest, most beautiful grind in the world. It's a little bit over the shop. It's missing off the tip. That could be on, I know I've noticed it's on mine and my mates as well. Maybe that's so when you're carrying it, it just doesn't poke through things, and you know, it's a chopping implement. It's not made for stabbing, so I'm assuming that's just a little bit of safety built into it. It looks like it's on purpose. It's basically a full 90 degree. Very sharp spine for those who want to know, if that's important for you. For maybe the smaller ones, more practical for, you know, those little tasks where you want to rub back some fine little bits of tinder, some little scrapings, or strike a ferro rod. These are carbon steel, so I definitely think they're going to be absolutely fine when it comes to making sparks off a ferro rod. Handles. So I had a bit of a discussion with my mate who's got a few of these as well. Now, I think myself that the handle is you know, I don't have the biggest hand in the world, so if you've got a big hand, big fat sausage fingers and that, this is probably going to be a little bit tight for you, and it won't be the best, but it's actually a little bit tight for me. I don't particularly like it, and just from playing around doing this, because I haven't used these yet, but just from playing around with it, I can see straight away just here on this sharp little shoulder here, I'm getting a hot spot just from doing that. So I imagine by the time you've done a bit of chopping for who knows, maybe even only 20 hits or 20 minutes of work, I think, well, I'm going to find out about it. You can actually see right here my hand's going red just from doing that a couple of times. Watch out, Jess. I don't know what type of, it just says carbon steel. Don't know what it is. It'd be interesting to find out. If anyone knows, just let us know in the comments. I haven't looked it up or anything like that though. It seems to have like a bit of a lacquery finish on here. I don't know what it is, whether it's a varnish, a sort of a gluey sort of epoxy coating on here, probably obviously to help it stop rusting. I just know that me mate, he tried to do a patina finish on it, and it really only patinaed where the grind is on the blade. So I'm sure that there's some sort of coating on there. You can almost see it. I think yeah, you can see it. It's been painted with something. Don't know what it is, but for the price, actually tell us how much these are in America too, guys. If they're $19 Australian, they must be bloody, what, $9 to $12 US. They seem quite thin. Well, that'd be 1.82 millimeters max, I reckon. Because I know the cold steel ones, they're 2.8 millimeters. And they're definitely considerably thicker. Not sure if you're going to be able to see that difference there. I'll just turn it ever so slowly, but that should stand out actually. These could even be 1.5 mil. Significantly thinner. but for the price, you know, you're going to be able to customize the handles however you want to. Bit of sanding, bit of filing, maybe I think I'm going to push this little knob back this way, straighten it out, try and make it and deepen the blade down this way here a little bit, maybe leave that sort of hump, but just deepen this part, round over these sharper edges so they're not as pronounced. Try and get this into a little bit more of a beak, a pronounced beak sort of hook thing for a slightly bit better grip, and it should come up pretty good. Definitely take this away a little bit more, and yeah, I'm sure I'll get this into a handy little knife. We're coming into, you know, I'm in Brisbane, we're subtropical here, so the grass is already growing. It's like I've been spring for 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks or whatever, and well, not even 2 weeks, and the grass, I mowed it the first weekend and it's already long, looks like a hippie. So very shortly we're going to have heaps of long grass and all sorts of stuff to test these things out on. So Katana Machete, could even be tactical machete, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think I got this probably 3 years ago. Did a little bit of cutting with it, wasn't super impressed, but didn't really know how to sharpen blades then, so I just ran the sharpening steel over this probably half a dozen to we'll say 10 times per side, and that's 10 times this half and then 10 times that half, and then on both sides. Didn't even touch the top here because I didn't really intend on doing any cutting with that, but I did cut down a small weedy tree thing. This is just enough to knock the rusty sort of edge off it. My mate's had this for maybe 2 years, and it's just sat in the sheet beside his bed and he hasn't touched it allegedly, so I'm going to buy this back off him now, just so I can, you know, there's no way in the world I can afford a proper, a usable samurai sword, so this will sort of put me in the play sort of realm, and it will allow me to sort of get a bit of a stance thing happening, sort of see that you point it up, step forward, bend your knees, raise it high, angle. That's all I know so far, so I will do a second video where I'll do the cutting, but this is just going to be the talk it up one. 2.8mm, 1055 carbon, like all their cold steel machetes. It's definitely not built, you know, it's not something that you're going to go smashing into hardwood and stuff with, but if you want to play swords and you're on a budget, why not? Why not? It's got this, it feels quite strong, polypropylene or whatever their proprietary name is on the plastic they use on their handles. It's probably definitely not the most comfortable in the world, but it does give you grip. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a bit of a test as well. We'll cut at least something, whether it's some weeds they've got to get cut down or whatever it is. Yeah, so anyway. And the Opinels. These are the little Opinel knives made in France. Surely everyone knows about these. If you don't, that's why I'm doing this. Wooden handle. These things are as old as the hills, been around forever. Everyone I know that was born in Europe, they all rave these, they all own them. Lots of them bring them to work for cutting their food and fruit and stuff like that. So it's just got a very simple locking mechanism that you just twist this little bit of sheet steel. That allows you to with the unlocked position there. Obviously you just fold this open and closed, and you just turn that, locked in place pretty good. These are cheap. This cost me $20. This is the number 8, and I believe it is a 8.5 centimeters or 85 millimeters Sandvik 12C 27M stainless steel. This one, I think that's why it's a bit cheaper. These stainless steel ones are cheaper. And flat grind, completely flat grind. It's got a really sharp spine on it, and that's definitely going to make sparks. I've owned a couple of these. I can't find them at the moment, but they're great. They're so lightweight, and they do everything that a knife needs to do, although they're not one-handed quick deployable. But you don't need a knife for that every single time. So yeah, and then the other one, mind you, this one here you might not be able to see, but they call it burgundy, but I'll call that maroon and white. That's the same as my Queensland State of Origin team. So as soon as I seen that, I thought, oh yeah, I'll pull this out on Origin night and play with this while I'm watching the footy. So this one here, this is just a little package that comes with their sheath. I was interested to see how their sheath was made. It looks pretty nice. It's very thin. The whole package is unbelievable. You wouldn't even know that's on your belt. You know, it's really light, thin leather. Again, it's very thin leather, no more than 2 mil. What's 2 mil? 80 thou. This is exactly the same knife, just red. So I thought, well, if this is something that potentially I might carry around going for a walk or something like that, you know, red's more likely that I'll see it. You know, if I drop it on the ground or sitting on a log and I leave it on the log as I get up to do my last inspection, I should find that. So yeah, and then I just thought of, yeah, the sheath, you know, I just looking at reverse engineerings and stuff. So pocket knife sheath. Anyway guys, I'll finish this video up now, and I'll make another one when it comes to the chopping. See ya.